need a thief. Thief. Oh, man holding a torch in broad daylight. Yeah, he's gotta go.
Yeah, that's definitely not the smartest move on his part.
Yep, I wonder if that might be included in the patch that happened roughly like 2 seconds ago at the time of this recording. Because I had a small maintenance patch. I mean, there was no day one patch, so that is something. Like, what, the second, third day it's been out? Well, second technically if it released on Friday.
Yeah, it's been a couple days.
But yeah, there was no like day one like raw patching. At least not for me when it downloaded.
There was apparently some heavy patching done for the PC version.
That makes sense. I mean, even with the game running the way it is, like everything looks pretty nice and crisp right now. But I noticed after playing it for roughly about 6 hours yesterday that there was starting to be pop-ins. But it was largely for plant textures.
Oh god, what happened there?
That is time of day shift.
Huh.
The time of day shifts are significant, especially if you're someplace with shadows. It was very noticeable on the beach a while ago because I had a Death Stranding moment where a shadow came out of nowhere and just was above me. And I was like, oh, is there a boss? Am I about to be hit by something the shape of a brick wall? Ah, here's one of the first catacombs. I recently found my second one earlier. But, yes. If I remember right, Brandon, this is where the cat is.
Oh yeah, you briefly mentioned that.
Yep, yeah, so... Whew. Well, what I do like is every time these catacombs pop up, it seems like they give you a spell summon. And then there's a little ghost explaining how proper death means returning to the roots of the tree, and I didn't realize quite how horrifying of a concept that is until we finish the boss room in here, and then I find the other bosses in these tombs. Because it appears that the Erd Tree's roots, their nutrients, the things they feed off of, from what I'm looking at, are people.
Oh. That's...
Some serious dark implications to this circle of life, Pumba. And in this tomb area, you have these imps, which I gotta say, they don't look like much. They're terrifying.
They actually kind of look like the rendition of the Kentucky Goblins, if anyone's ever heard of that.
I'm not familiar with Kentucky Goblins.
Yeah, basically.
Tell me very shorthand.
Basically, I believe it was in the early 60s, family in Kentucky, small house, having a house party, they hear noises, and these, like, goblin-looking creatures, as they described them, come out of the forest and, like, kind of terrorize the family's house, and they almost look like exactly what those goblins look like, with the big pointed the pointed ears, the big round eyes, the shortness.
Yeah, these ones are made out of stone.
Yeah, but it's just kind of weird that they look exactly like that.
Yeah. The other thing that I found that's annoying about them is you notice how they're throwing things at me?
Right, aren't those like knives?
Yes. Some of the knives they throw can do bleed damage.
Oh, shit.
And it procs pretty easily, I might say. Even when I'm wearing full plate.
I gotta say, I wouldn't have expected bleed damage. I probably would have expected poison.
Because they're green, right? I mean, that's what I kind of do, especially if you play Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
The poison level is green because poison in our head brains is green.
Yeah, genuinely, yeah, there's always a color associated with a status effect. Like, obviously, lightning is always yellow, fire's always like orange, bleed is always a dark red, poison green, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It usually for the most part, Dark Souls 3 poison was what, purple?
Yes. Yep. Purple, sort of like the idea of it being like a chemical concoction.
Right. I forget. It was, what was that other status effect you could get in the swamps?
Rapid poison.
That one was like, kind of like a dark pink or a light purple?
It was a deeper purple, and then there's like a regular eggplanty purple for normal poison. Because there was, for Dark Souls 3, there was poison, rapid poison, frost, petrification, Fire's just a damage type. Lightning's a damage type. Though they can have different stats. Darkness will also hit your stamina a little bit. That sort of thing.
I remember there was one status effect that was like kind of like a pinkish purple color, and you had to eat like a plant that was like of the same color.
Yeah, that was because there's moss clumps that would heal you for poison, but there was also moss clumps for rapid poison. Yeah, the ones for rapid poison have white flowers on them. Anyway, back into this one. I actually missed these types of puzzles because these flaming puzzles were from the old Iron King DLC of Dark Souls 2 as well, because I just keep getting reminded by it. Every fucking time. I'm like, well, the high fantasy setting, honestly, this is the Dark Souls 2 I feel like they really wanted to put out, just with less influence of light and dark.
Right.
Because the cyclical nature of it, it's definitely apparent here. But the way I think this game does its theming is it's based off of night and day, like day and night.
Right.
For example, that tree sentinel I fought earlier with Jake that I was mentioning. Oh, fuck, recording, continuity, I'm being seen. Anyway, he is in bronze.
Okay.
And on his shield, if you look at his shield, it's a sun that's been broken in half.
Right.
There's also the Night Sentinel, the Night Sentry, and he's a dark black iron leather-clad guy with just a halberd. He does the same thing in roughly the same area, just down the road, and he's in all black. And he wields a crescent moon-shaped halberd and no shield. So they complement each other quite nicely.
It's kind of funny. It's not the first time I've seen a game do something like that. The first one that immediately comes to mind is I remember. I think it was Madness and Sanity for the Shivering Isles DLC. They were the knights that were in Sheogorath's Realm of Oblivion.
Gotcha.
Because they wore like a goldish bronze type armor, and then the other kind were like a steel dark plated type of colored armor.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they weren't placarded to match, Sheogorath's orange and purple motifs.
Not sure. Still never did play the Shivering Isles DLC. I only know a little bit about it. Like, I know the general plot, I just never actually played it.
Now, I have to figure out how to fully do it, but these plants that I'm picking up, they appear to be what you need to level up your weapon arts. Because you can level those up as well, whether it be their stamina cost or their damage output.
And you need to find a way to use the plants to make that?
Yes, it's a crafting subsystem. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. There's a merchant I need to meet that does that for me, but I haven't met them yet. There's someone called like a spell weaver. I only just met the merchant for intelligence for sorcery, though I'm a little bit saddened because she doesn't outright give you a catalyst. So I can learn spells, I just can't cast them until I at least have intelligence 30, because the only wand I found has a 30 intelligence requirement, and it only casts invisibility.
Wait, the wand can only cast a certain spell?
Yep, but it casts them really well.
But what's the point of having a wand if it only casts one type of spell?
Because you can...
But you can learn spells.
Yeah, you can learn spells, but the spells it does are only of the invisible variety, though I don't know if that's a translation error. Because Dark Souls does have a healthy amount of invisibility spells, not just of the character himself. You can also make your weapons invisible. It's been a weird tactic that's honestly never really used, because back at Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls, that was a way to just fool people into not knowing what weapon you're using. Even though obviously you can tell by how they're swinging it. But it's just the idea from a distance, you might not be able to figure it out, so it keeps you on your toes and makes you kind of, a little bit frightful.
Right.
Also, Chalice Dungeon, note number 2, I pulled a lever, there's a door that opens somewhere, and there's even a little prompt that comes up and says, somewhere in this tomb, a heavy door has opened.
Yeah, it's just, they just went ahead and just reused Chalice Dungeons. Well, I shouldn't say reuse, they definitely
They reworked the concept, and this is me making a mistake, by the way, by going back.
Oh, Jesus.
But I'm alive.
Oh wow.
Because I recently picked up a talisman that increases my fire resistance, so
Good
this is
thing.
the result of that.
Yeah, that's a damn good thing there.
Yes, quite so. Gotta say, the subsystems, at least how the talismans work, it's pretty nice. I do wish I could upgrade it in some way. I heard from watching some body video that there is something that will do that. I just haven't found it. Because a lot of the subsystems for what you equip and what you carry are item related as well. So you hear me getting hit by fire again, but I'm fine. For example, there was this necklace I bought off of a merchant that allows me to increase the spell slots I have.
Right.
It's permanent. Because they're called memory slots, and they apply to miracles and to the spells you cast, but it's all item related. So you have to go out in the world and find these items to increase your slots, not just leveling up.
Huh.
Though, I mean, the game does, depending on your playstyle, kind of curate to make you level up certain things. Like, me, I like a lot of weapons and armor. Oh, here it is!
Boss room, yeah.
Yep! Oh, hello, Cheshire Catmos!
Hi, Pontiff Sullivan.
Wait for it. This is me, like, being scared, and then real. Oh, yeah! Look at him move!
What the
Hey,
fuck?
it's that boy!
What the hell?
Yeah, it's Scary Catmans. Look at his little necklace thing.
That thing's an animatronic from Chuck E. Cheese hell.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not fond of him either.
Oh god, his face.
Yep, it's a mix of a scary cat and a demon.
Holy shit. Oh,
yeah, and his face is kind of like melted off and weird. He's very stiff. And I gotta say, I've seen alternate versions of him sculpted in a tomb recently. I'm glad I fought this one. Because there was a variant of it that I found that had a pontiff scepter and 3 heads, but still the same cape and crown combo.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, this, I think, is a strange analog use to things like Anubis. Because, I mean, he's got his little royalty crown and his little cape, and he's apparently here to be a part of the rituals in this mausoleum-like area. You know, one of those people, the type of thing that would do mercy killings, I should say.
Yeah. He's also called a watchdog, and it's a fucking cat.
Yep, I fucking hate that, but there's a precedent for that in Dark Souls games. The big one for me is the Royal Rat Vanguard, and I'm dead. The Royal Rat Vanguard pissed me off quite a bit at Dark Souls 2, not only because it was a big boss in a small arena. Actually, the arena's pretty big. A big boss with a bunch of minions who do a status effect. Because the way it worked is, it was this overgrown wolf model. And then inside there would be tiny, poisonous little fucks who would do toxic, and you would be insta-murdered in seconds by the poison and the boss. So you have to kill them, and then fight the boss, who had a relatively simple moveset. It's just his hitbox didn't make sense and neither did he. The Royal Rat Vanguard is a wolf. That's the big gimmick. And also, this started the pattern that I noticed for bigger bosses, is you get to repulse them, and you always repulse the part that looks like it's made out of ember. And it'll show up sometimes depending on what damage is done to that boss. With him, he's got a hole in his chest. So if you repulse him enough, it reveals what's in there, and you stab the good stuff. And it's a lot like the ember you would find in an elm tree. Which is what he's guarding.
Oh. Boy, he's guarding a tree in a tomb.
Behind him, where he was standing, are the roots of the nearest elm tree.
Oh, the roots, okay.
Yeah, he does the mercy killing for some type of ritual, because it is not well established, but this mausoleum type area appears to be a ritualistic place for people to be killed in order to satiate the tree so they can stay alive as things are.
Okay.
And it would appear that this fucking cat creature would be the one doing the mercy killing and shoving the bodies into the roots.
I know it's not the first and only concept, but literally just the fact that you're constantly sacrificing people to satiate a tree, it just kind of reminds me of the 1,000 psychers that are given to the Emperor every day in 40k.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep, the man-emperor of mankind does need his man.
Yep, specifically psychers.
Jesus. Yeah, big, scary, psychopathic chop chops. I don't know, it kind of makes me laugh too because of the way the cat thing holds his sword and chops.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when I was playing the Majima playthrough on stream because there's these random fighters that show up with knives and they hold it just like that. They just hold their knife up and they're like, "I'll stab you, Majima-san, you one-eyed patched fuck." And he's like, "Ooh, what an interesting challenge."
Joke's on you. You haven't seen me in the previous games for some reason.
Because I'm playing a reduced version of myself with the same moveset from the construction club. That's the thing that always burned me about that, is not only is it recycled movesets from Zero, that's very specifically just Mad Dog, but with only 3 combos. It's also all the moves he does for his construction company minigame. But yeah, I have to say, reducing it down, that was the simple part of this boss. It took longer just because I was more defensive. But then, you know, we just figured it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, based on what I saw, his moveset seemed like his patterns seemed pretty straightforward.
And then flashing out a bit more. If you just wait for it. Whoop. These are more of those dung beetle roller boys. They're just invisible. Oh. Whenever you find one and kill them, they give you weapon arts. In this case, he gave me a stomp move. I'm sorry, yeah, it was a low sweeping attack.
But you can't use it until you figure out the flower thing?
No, I can use these ones once I collected an item known as a whetstone. Then I could use them. I can't level them up.
No, that's what the whetstones are used for?
Yep, the whetstone knife that you can find at that camp we'll be looking at in a little while. It allows you to equip any weapon art to a weapon you have already, unless it's a weapon that has a preset weapon art, like a boss weapon.
Right, okay, so wait, if that's what the whetstone is used for, then how do you summon other players? Like, how do you still do the thing where you put down your sign?
Yes. You have separate items for
that.
Oh. So yeah, that's pretty much the same. One other thing that's kind of nice is you can get an equipable item for if you want to be the police.
Oh, Jesus.
The thing about that I like is it's basically, hey, wear this ring if you want to go help people who get invaded. Also, here's a ring for when you get invaded, and if you wear it, you will randomly get people that'll summon into your world to help you since you're invaded. I like to call that one the lifeline. That'll teach it. So these guys actually get a lot easier over time. In fact, they're much easier to kill when they're in their element. This fellow is a type of heavy cavalryman. And I think he actually swam here on a boat and got wrecked here. The reasoning for that is if you just kind of roam around, since you can see the water boxing,
right,
you can find a broken boat right where his campfire is. Yeah, so right, it's like he swam, he got to shore after his boat broke, after doing some edge-of-the-world bullshit, and then he's just stuck here. And if you wait behind him, you kind of just see that he's cold and damp.
Oh, shit.
So that's kind of nice.
Huh. Do you actually have a map? Like, do you actually have the map to the world?
I don't have it completed yet, but yes, I've got most of the world map.
Wait, not completed, like it's fragmented?
Yes, you have to go through specific regions and find the world map indicators, and then you'll be able to see the rest of the map.
Oh, shit.
So it encourages you to figure out areas, because until you find those tokens in the world and they don't show up on the map or anything, you just have to keep feeling out the area.
So we ultimately don't know how big this world really is.
I will say I keep getting teleported farther and farther east. Like, I found a land full of very small pygmy folk, and they are very hardy and very strong, and also here's giant bats.
Because...
Yep.
Just, they look cool.
They have a sonic boom move, and they can attack from behind your shields, but honestly, they're kind of pushovers, and I love that about them.
Also, is it nighttime?
No.
Then what the fuck's with these bats?
They're bad. That's why they're easier to kill. They're actually harder to kill at nighttime. They get a little smarter.
But why is it daytime and they're out?
And they make terrible choices.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because bats are nocturnal.
You know, it's similar to those fellows walking around with a lit torch. Because the enemy AI is very prepared for nighttime, but not well prepared for daytime like this guy. You see, this guy, he's got his torch out because, you know, he doesn't have bifocals.
Oh,
He needs to see.
Is there actual stealth attacks?
Yes, like you can do like your sneak attack, but the thing that I've noticed is if you fuck up the sneak attack, you actually have an attack for standing up into a regular stance. Like you have a rising attack, like in Street Fighter, or I'm sorry, not Street Fighter, but like in Tekken or Soul Calibur.
Huh.
Because those games have rising attacks as well.
Right. Huh.
Oh yeah, little dungy.
What the fuck?
Fuck you, Dungo! So whenever you see a Dungo like this, there'll be multiple colors. That one was red, which means if I had low Estus, and I had consumed some of my red stuff, they'll refill it for me.
Huh.
Yep, good old Dungos. That's why it's always good to kill them, but not like instantly on sight. Always kill them when you need them. They won't despawn right away either, so as long as you don't trigger them to flee, you should be fine. Just requires a little bit of eyesight, and I did not have it at the time of that recording.
There's a lot of fire on in this area.
Yes!
Like,
Yes.
Look, there's like 3 or 4 torches.
In daytime.
There's like 3 torches and a campfire in the middle of the day. Like, the campfire I can understand, but, I mean, the torches?
And that's when I went, I'm gonna go back.
Why, I guess the arrows are powerful.
Just one of those I didn't know anything about the area, and then I went, oh, I'm being shot at because I exist. And then I ran. And I've been running ever since.
Jesus. God, I love that tree in the distance.
Elden tree. Elm ring. Steve. Also, you see how the light just changed because of the rain?
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit more reasonable for them to have a torch since it's slowly changing from midday to night.
Right, but it's also raining.
Yep. The rain's just being the transitioning factor.
Die.
What's in your wagon, friend?
What's in the
What's
wagon?
in the wagon?
I wanna know.
I want to know what's in the wagon.
What's in the wagon?
What's in the wagon?
Open the wagon.
And it's a flare.
I'm assuming that's shit.
Actually, I like it a bunch.
Oh.
It was my secondary weapon for a bit. It does bleed damage, and again, it's a flail, so it's a ball with spikes on a chain, and you just whip it at people.
Oh, shit, there's a cutscene?
Yes, this is how you get to the level up portion of the game.
Why does that bit of...
Because it's just random.
I know, but I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, that kind of looks like...
A humanity?
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there's this chick again.
Greetings,
Yes. Greetings.
traveler from beyond the fog.
Huh.
Yep.
That's the thing that sucks is, I've always... It seems like... Like, the way hoods are done in a lot of stories, like fantasy settings and, like, just medium in general, they always look really fucking cool and perfect like that, but if you wear a hood like that in real life, it looks messy and static as all hell.
So you gotta have a big hood that's long in the front but not in the back.
I know, but it's like, it looks so cool. I love the way the hoods like that look.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the biggest one I can compare it to is either Palpatine or Padme's in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because those hoods, I'm like, oh, that looks so cool.
Yep. Big flowing hoods are always good. Also, I love that this cutscene has pretty good quality and that we're having some focused line dialogue. But every time we're talking, there's just going to be a phantom fading in and out randomly. See, look, you're just hanging out, just jumping around. Oh, hey, nice butt, ghost.
It's like, thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you like to see it more?
Well, don't mind if I Elden do.
Oh, no, he's gone. Oh, dude.
And now I accept.
So
Your
basically,
cord
what's this girl's deal?
she requires someone to be. She needs to serve someone since she is a finger maiden without a tarnished, without a chosen.
Okay.
And so that's when she finds you, someone who is maidenless, and you guys kind of team up to establish the motivating factor of, hey, how do we take down these shard holders? How do we become the Elden Lord? And so she will take the accord and take care of me, and I, in return, will try my best to become the Elden Lord.
Huh.
And that's when she gives us Torrent, our good old boy, and now we have the first level up, which has a fun carryover since it's the only time she'll do it for you. Don't mind me trying to look at my face. And when she does that, it's a similar thing to Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, where the Firekeeper will be doing a chant. And I wish I kept it on. I'd have to play the game again and play that chant again, because it sounded pretty nice. Yep, I'll have to pull the footage on that later, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, and that's Torrent. Torrent just gets spawned out of the blue as long as he has room to spawn in. If the area is too small, he will not, and if it's inside or within an area that is fixed, he will not spawn. He will also despawn when you are invaded.
Really?
I've noticed this at most inopportune times. Because I'm just like, oh, alright. This place is a swamp that triggers a fast, rapid poison effect. I was invaded.
It's
riding on horseback.
Why in Souls game? It's always the fucking swampy, poisonous area that has the most fuck-ass invaders.
Yeah, for some reason they're quite popular in the PvP.
Just in the swamp areas. I hated that. I hated that in Dark Souls 3. It irritated me.
Yep, because they know they can be easily killed by status effects.
Also,
no, it's not so much of the woods, but yeah.
but also in Bloodborne, if you remember when you were helping me in Bloodborne, we had that one guy that invaded when you were helping me, and it was in that poison area.
Oh, the Nightmare Frontier?
I think so.
It's the one before the Brain of Mensis, yeah? Before Mikolash?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Nightmare Frontier.
Yeah, you were helping me there because you were like, oh, I want to fight him because you haven't had a PvP fight in Bloodborne in God knows how long.
Yeah, that's right, I cannonballed him.
Yeah.
That was a good time. That was a good day.
Oh, man, 'cause I remember, it's always the poison area. The only other exception for a huge PvP was Irithyll in DS3.
Yes.
Because I remember that area being hell.
Yeah, and Orlando's lower portions before when you would get to Aldrich is also one of those areas, and ironically, both of them are gate kept by a faction designed to hold the turf. That's what those were. There's the Watchdogs of Farron that work over Farron Swamp,
Right.
and then there's the Aldrich Devout who guard Aldrich.
Right, I remember. It's just unbelievably insane how many there were.
Oh yes. Oh yes, you there? Could you help me?
What the fuck?
Oh, that was a goat. It rolls by.
Oh.
Goats roll. Now this one
Because...
took me a minute. Should have just paid attention to the signs. But I went, oh, gee, where will this person be? You know that song I like? Comma, chameleon. They're using chameleon. They're using chameleon.
Oh, there's an enemy around here?
Not an enemy, just an NPC. Poor fuck.
But he's invisible.
Yeah, he's stuck in place and invisible. That's why he's asking for help.
He doesn't know where he's at.
Well, he can't move. It's Tin Man. Except Tin Man can talk, but he looks like a tree. And you see, he's that tree with all those summon signs around it, but I'm not getting that right away because I didn't think, gee, people in Souls games giving hints that are constructive? I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Try fingers, butthole. I found that note 7 times today.
Treasure ahead.
Leap of faith required.
Yeah. Fucking shit.
My favorite colloquialism that's been bled into this game is the phrase "first off," because now you can add "first off" into your notes.
First off.
Yep, like what was the one? First off, help needed. First off, good luck. That was the big one before fighting the Tree Sentinel. So yeah, I'm just gonna fuck around a bit and I'm sure he's around here somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least I've learned that those glowing pearlescent skulls have runes in them, and that just made me want to run them over with Torrent and then mash the collect key.
I can't help but laugh because with the wind blowing with those trees, some of the trees look like they're literally just like bouncing, happy dancing trees.
Bouncing happy dancing trees.
See, look, they just look like they're just bouncing
They're just
back.
vibing.
Yeah, just they're listening to the beats at the club.
Yes, the tree club. Ant world.
Christ.
Ain't no party like an ant party.
When do you figure this out? Oh.
Now.
Oh,
What
just,
you go and do that for?
Hello.
just
Oh,
random dude.
I remember.
Hello, sir.
Some
Now you can also just roll into him to make it go away, but it's kind of funny that if you hit him with it, he'll go, OW!
The name's Bob. I was
And there's a
posted
good
to the
sellable list of ows I've had from NPCs who accidentally get hit but don't take it personally like every other Souls game.
Oh, thank God.
Where they're like, you touched me, I have to kill you.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate masked people. Well, my name's El Fuerte. I hate masked people. I'm going to kill you.
But it's super dynamic cooking time.
Cooking time.
I love his intro. I don't really care for playing as him, but I love his intro. That's so cool. Oh.
Running Rekkas for a grappler. What a good choice. So, this poor fuck wanted to be a tailor, and he's actually a talking demi-human.
Okay.
The thing about it is his family lived in that cave of demi-humans,
Oh.
and
Oh no.
his parents were eaten by those demi-human chiefs that I murdered.
Oh. But that shouldn't matter. If his parents were eaten, he would probably want revenge.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know that I killed them,
Oh.
and he's gonna go back to do such a thing.
He's gonna go back and try and murder them even though you already killed them because he doesn't know that you killed them.
Right, and now the thing that's cute about that is normally this is the part of the quest where you would find him at the coastal cave later, and he's sort of beat up and going, gee, I wish someone was strong enough to help take care of the problem, and then you go and you take care of the problem like a reluctant hero.
Right, but do you ever go back there to see if anything changes?
I do.
Oh,
To be continued. Also, that black specter in the distance, that's the Night Sentry that I was telling you about.
okay. I don't. Oh, that thing. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's quite large.
Oh.
This is me, like, panic spamming Torrent and going,
Oh,
okay,
Jesus.
I'll fight him, sure. I've got a little bit of hair on my chest, it'll be fine.
And then his horse looks like it's a fucking ring wraith.
Yeah, it's got a cloak on and everything, and he does his own
Jeez.
jump attacks, he's got a good straight vertical hitbox, his
Good
reach is
lord.
good. The thing about him and the other fellow that I noticed is both of them have a significant blind spot behind their weapon. So if you're like back and to the left of them, it's okay going. The other gimmick that's more reticent on this one than on the first guy is you can actually kill the Night Sentry by only killing his horse. He'll fall off his horse and he'll die.
That's a little weird.
Yeah. The other one, he's glued to his horse, so you can't knock him off his horse. He's an introduction to that whole gimmick because if there's any riders that you find, all you have to do is kill them out and they'll go down. And it reminds you that anytime you're knocked off your horse or if you knock someone off their horse, murdering will occur and everyone is super weak. Yeah, it's a good lesson to learn, I think. I know I'm learning it frequently. One would say a little too frequently. Ugh, it hurts. It hurts a bunch.
It definitely looks like it.
And then I got body checked by a horse. And that's how we like it. Dark.